You're watching us here on a very special episode of The Weekender on CNBC TV18. Why do I call it special? Well, picture this. In 1983, a person starts a company which is inspired by the name of his daughter. Much later, in 2020, the daughter, after having worked for 14 years in that company trying to prove her mettle, finally takes over as MD. But the drama in the tale is that a few days before she takes over as the MD, a nationwide and slowly a worldwide lockdown is announced. Yes, I'm speaking to MR Jyothy of Jyothy Labs. In your first ever conversation since you've taken over as MD, Jyothy, let's go back to the day you joined. A few days before the lockdown was announced.
Yep.
You've been focusing on, being the leader of this company and taking this company forward ever since you were a child. So many pressures. What were the thoughts on your head?
Well, like anyone who would want to get into a position like that, would want their first day to be in office, to be meeting everybody, to be getting the blessings, and then, first day on the chair. So that was definitely the expectation. And what I felt at that time is, okay, the first day is gone, maybe in another 2-3 weeks, the lockdown was announced for 2-3 weeks, and it will open. So like anyone would think positively, yes, it will open in 2-3 weeks. But yes, it kept extending and extending and extending. And then that became the way of life for that, I think, for the next 2 years.
So when was it eventually that you got to your chair in office?
Well, after 2 years.
Wow.
Almost 2.5 years, yeah.
There would be a fair amount of challenges, external, internal, a lot of that. How do you navigate through those? What were those pressures that you probably put on yourself?
I always wanted to prove myself. I also had a lot of ambition, or rather have a lot of ambition to take the company to the next level. And I have been in the marketing department, marketing and sales, having built brands for so long. With all those thoughts, and when suddenly everything comes to a standstill, you really think, how am I going to start? But then there was, some kind of, the urge to do well even in those times. Okay, and for me it was the first thing. I didn't want to miss anything.
Right.
And right at that time, went about doing things, gathered that courage. Yes, will not let go of this, the first quarter as such. I think it is the people who stayed with me and who knew me right from the beginning. They know that how I operate, and they were there with me to help, during this time. And it was, to my amazement, it was such a beautiful bond we actually developed during those times, much better than that we were physically when we were meeting.
Right.
All of them came together as one force and wanted to make things happen for us. And for them, they also believe that it is their first quarter. So that is, in fact, that's the kind of encouragement and this thing that I got from all of them. And we never looked back after that. You
never looked back. Dramatic turn of events. When you took over as MD, I remember the stock price was sub 100 rupees, and now it's at a record high as well, above 320 odd rupees. How did you go about bringing that change? What were the few things that you did for the company to have done better?
See, we invested on technology. We have very good brands. It was to make them much more stronger. We had to also enhance our distribution. We were at a certain level. We invested behind people. Yeah, that's the main thing. And working on fundamentals, very simple.
Did you speak to all the channel partners? Did you assure them that, this is the new leadership, and work on strengthening that relationship? Did they reciprocate that love?
See, before the lockdown happened, in fact, when it was announced a year before that I would be the MD, and from then on I started doing my homework much more than what I had done in the past. So I had gone and visited, met all our field force on the ground, going to each state, meeting them personally, telling my vision to them, and sharing my vision. Everybody on the field, everybody on the ground wants some kind of trust and some kind of, no insecurities, and that, they are there with the company, and we'll reward them. Those basic things. That came into help during lockdown. It was easier for me to communicate to each one of them. I kept constant touch with them. Once the offices opened,
you were back on the road.
Yeah.
So, you said that you shared with them your vision of the company. Can you tell me what your vision of the company is? From
where my dad started, I would want to grow it multifold. I wouldn't want to put any number as such.
It took you 10 years to double your revenue from around 1250 to 1300 crores in FY13 to about 2500 crores in FY23. Can we say that the next doubling will be a lot sooner than 10 years? 5,000 crores, road to 5,000 crores. Do you have that in mind?
We won't take 10 years time, and definitely ambitions are big. I think we are on that path already, and aspire to grow double digits every year, and that should help us reach that number soon.
When it's 5,000 crores on the top line, what do you think the revenue mix would look like? What categories would grow faster?
So for us, we are still at a level where there is a lot of room to grow. There's a lot of distribution expansion that still has to happen. So for us, everything will be incremental. While I say that, I would want the personal care to grow. The contribution right now is only 10-12%. I would want that percentage to go up. Yeah, so somewhere at least at 15-20 would be a good place to be.
So if I look at Jyothy Labs at 5,000 crores, I assume that still a large part would come from dishwash and fabric care itself, around 60% say. 15 to 20% comes in from personal care, and the other 20% would be household insecticides and others.
Fabric care, say 30, your dishwash will be around 30. I would pay more attention or focus more on personal care. Maybe household insecticides, I would like to keep it at say 5 to 7%.
Could you quantify the kind of market share gains that you've made in these categories since you've joined over the last say 2 years or so?
We've been growing market share, and even as of last quarter, we have increased our market share from what it was. So every quarter we do keep increasing. See, in dishwash, when I speak, we are the country's second, as in the next brand. Yes, the gap between the leader and us is quite large. I would like to, narrow that. So that is one ambition. And fabric care, yes, in Ujala Supreme, which is a post-wash, which is our flagship brand, we are at 85% market share already.
You can have your own plans, but what if the leader suddenly does something else? Then you are always looking at your own self, and you're looking at what the leader does as well. So how do you navigate through when you have a portfolio of strong challenger brands?
Yeah, so one is being a challenger is fun. Okay, you always question what the competition is offering. And we always try to be better in that what we give to the consumer, and it's the consumer who decides. One is giving a quality product. Second, the main important thing where it comes is differentiation, where the consumer is able to see that how this is different from the others. I think that's what led to most of our brands being or gaining market share in the last few years. So we have complete trust on our process. And I do personally a lot of consumer research myself to understand and get insights. If you see, we are priced at the same or at premium. So the thing that we are winning is because of the quality, because of the differentiation, and definitely for us distribution has helped, and obviously communication to the right in the right way. Yeah.
When I look at your portfolio, there are a couple of categories where you're not present. There is wash as a category where there is not a lot of presence. Hair, there's zero presence. Are those categories that interest you?
Yeah, definitely. When we say personal care, we would want to do a lot of new additions that will come in future. But yeah.
How do you plan to scale up Margo? Let's put it that way. Is it the Margo brand that you will extend to all other categories, or will you look at creating newer brands, maybe acquiring brands?
It will be a mix of both. It will be a mix of all, rather, now that I heard you say that. But yes, it will be a mix of all of these.
It's not a blue ocean, it's a red ocean. There are large players there. terrible competition, very thin margins. How do you plan to bring your own there?
Yeah, so personal care has fairly decent margins, see, Margo is a 100-year-old brand. The very thing that it existed for 100 years shows that the consumers have a lot of trust on the brand, believes in the brand, in the true, authentic, the ingredient that we have, neem as an ingredient there. We did recent variant extensions on Margo, and we've been getting good feedback from the market as well, which also shows that the consumers are waiting for something to come from Margo.
Which is a Jyothy Labs product that you use regularly in your house?
Well, all of them. I'm the first one to use, and anything that that leaves the company from here, I mean any launch, everything is first tried by me, right from the concept till the launch, the ingredients to the fragrance, everything I'm involved.
What excites you most about your job right now?
Today, when I am trying to do a lot of things are coming together the way I wanted it since quite some time, and all the areas that we are working on are doing well, and we have reached a level now where we are ready for takeoff. So that's the kind of confidence that we have.
And takeoff implies double-digit growth for the foreseeable future. Margins stay between that 16 to 17% or 15
right,
to 16%?
As of now, yes, because we would want to invest back in creating brands. So a lot of investments would go.
So do those ad spends increase from 7 to 8% band? Do they go towards double-digit?
Yeah, looks like will happen.
You know, one more thing that has happened over the last few years is that your balance sheet has gotten a lot leaner, cleaner. You've nearly become debt-free. What are your plans with the cash that you have on your books?
So, well, we'll wait and see for opportunities if there is any that comes our way, the way we want it.
Acquisitions, that is. What categories?
We would want to strengthen on what we have, so would like to concentrate on personal care, but again, wherever we can use our distribution, wherever we can use our existing factories, yeah, that will be a great...
So, without getting into specifics, what is the Jyothy Labs playbook for acquisitions?
So, one is it has to have good margins, and it should be that once the brand comes to us, we are able to scale it to the next level. Definitely a decent brand if there is, and like I said, if it's in the personal care segment, it would be even more wonderful.
So only personal care is what you're looking at?
Maybe as a first thing, but we are not closed on any this thing. If there is anything that comes other than personal care, but it looks good, then obviously.
And you will obviously not pay top dollar for those acquisitions.
No,
right?
it has to make real sense for us. It whatever you do has to make sense. We wouldn't want to rock the boat that is actually doing well. So. We would be very, very extra careful in evaluating any of those deals.
Every leader brings their own culture to the organization. I wanted to know, what is it that you brought different over and above what the family had already in terms of bringing to the organization as a cultural change? What is your own? Okay,
as a family, what we have believed is, in people, right from the beginning, from my dad. He always believed in people, and that's what I've learned from him. And that's what has kept me going. One is trusting in people. What I have added to it is maybe more freedom to them. I think today all of them are free to think, to act at a certain level, come and share with me whatever they have. I think they have a feeling that whatever they come and share, is like discussing with one of their colleagues who's ready to listen to them. So that is what I feel that has helped. See, rest of the things can be built, and if you have good people with you, I think that's the biggest asset.
And that's the cultural change that you believe you've brought.
Yes, it's more freedom.
How do the discussions with your father happen now? Because he is the legendary Mr. Ramchandran.
Yeah, so he is very happy today, and I would say that he's very proud, and he tells me that, and every quarter when we show the results, he only comes and blesses, and sometimes say, maybe you could do this, maybe you could do that, and I just listen to that. But today, I think 3 years back to what it is now, his confidence levels are at a different level, and I'm more happy seeing him satisfied. So that is, it's that kind of a thing.
That's incredible, that feedback loop that you've gotten. You had a bunch of products which I remember were Kerala only. This is pre-pandemic. This is something like a tea shine which you started, Crisp and Shine. You were looking at national rollouts of that. Detergent is, Ujala detergent, that is, powder, is also, you're a leader in Kerala. You're looking at a national rollout of that as well. By when does that happen, and what could that mean in terms of revenue scalability for these brands?
See, for competitive reasons, I wouldn't be able to say that, but yes, Ujala IDD, which is a detergent powder in Kerala, we are a leader there. We have extended it to Tamil Nadu and in West Bengal as of now. As and when we feel that it's required, quite a bit of learning from West Bengal as a market is also happening. We would like to take those learnings next to the next level. And Crisp and Shine, as we speak, it's again in Kerala. We have extended last year in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, and again we have seen good results there. That would be more of a regional kind of a thing. Maybe we would take one state at a time and see how that works. So
it's a very focused state.
It's a very focused state-led approach for now.
2.8 million outlets is what your total reach is at right now. 1.1 million is roughly direct reach. What's your plan on expanding that?
So that, that we have been consistent. Every year on year we keep adding outlets, and that would be for some more time to come. I think to build a distribution, it takes time. It's like literally building brick by brick. You need your people to go there, service the outlet, and so every year, yeah, say 50 to 80,000 outlets, direct reach is what you're adding. Yes.
And HUL in their post-earnings commentary did say that they are seeing a fair amount of competitive intensity in a lot of regions. Godrej Consumer has gotten aggressive with the low unit packs in their household insecticide offerings as well. Up until now, when there was inflationary pressure, everyone was lying low. Now that the cost of raw materials are reducing, competitive intensity is increasing, not only from the larger players, but from the smaller local players as well. How do you manage to tackle that?
For us, like I said, I believe in our products, right? And we have offerings at every price point. For us, again, to reach rural, to reach each of these places, we have a lot of work to do there. So for us, everything is an incremental that will come. While competition is there, we would like to look more inwards, and we would like to see what we can do and what difference we can do. Like I said earlier, one is our quality and the differentiation that will definitely make a difference in the lives of the consumer, and our people who will take the product to reach till the last mile. So we are concentrating completely on ourselves, not on...
Okay. And what have your learnings been from the other new age D2C players, so to say, which have come about as well? I mean, what have your learnings been from them?
Learnings, yes, maybe it's a completely new way of doing business. That is one thing, that completely digital is something which a few years back we couldn't even think of. That is one medium that is open. But today when we say, as we speak, there are many D2C brands. So it is again, it has become a cluttered space. And I believe that while they are in a good space, you need a far more, kind of reach to reach your consumers in the rural and elsewhere. And maybe an ideal place to be should be a D2C plus your feet on street that will...
So basically you acquiring a D2C brand and giving it scale. Is that a possibility?
We'll see that.
All right. Tell me a little about the way you see incremental capital in your business going.
Yeah, so we will be building on technology and people and ad spends. So investing on brands, investing on distribution / people, and on technology. So technology from an analytics, technology from bringing whatever information the brain from the ground to the head office, and yeah, these are the things.
What's the communication with investors been like?
So I've learned a lot in the last 3 years, and the trust that they have now versus what it was maybe 3 years back. While they were all there with us, it's only that they have increased that trust, and I think the main thing is what you speak versus what you deliver. That's the most important. Some calculative risks will be taken. Nothing to rock the boat, like I said, and their beliefs have gone up from what it was.
Let's talk about some fun stuff. Jyothy, give me 2 of your hobbies.
Hobbies, I like sketching, I like listening to music.
What is your favorite song?
Kal Ho Na Ho.
That's such a nice song to have your life, based on Har Pal Yahan Ji Bhar Jiyo. How do you spend your time in office in a day? How much of that is day-to-day activities? How much of that is the long-term vision? How much of that is decision making and doing operational stuff?
Of late has a lot been on the future. The future that is next 3 to 5 years and then thereafter. So a lot of time in that. Yeah.
Okay, and what keeps you up at night? What do you worry about?
Well, today I don't have much to worry about. I only think, that today we are in a very good space, and I would want to build on this. We have reached a place where it's a very good foundation that we have. It's only to, spring from here now. 3
Jyothy brands that you are extremely optimistic about in terms of growth potential in the future.
Margo, EXO, and fabric care, the entire thing. I would take the entire bunch.
Jyothy Labs of 2030. What do you expect it to be when you visualize?
Well, much more bigger.
Define much bigger.
More stronger. Like I said, I wouldn't want to put any number to it, but grow multifolds. Be into much more categories, and what we know is to serve the consumers, what we know is to reach the consumers. So it will be basically using all of this and building on top of that.
Give me one learning from HUL.
Oh, really? You want to go?
Yeah, let's do
That's far. One learning, okay, they're a university. I think they have built brands, strong brands over a period of time. Believes in brands completely. That's one thing which I like.
One thing you like from Godrej Consumer?
Innovation, which has, I think, innovation in the lead category that they are operating.
One thing you like from Nestle?
Nestle, the CEO.
You like the CEO. One thing you like from Dabur and Emami each?
Homegrown, strong companies.
And one thing you believe that Jyothy is that none of these guys are?
We operate in our own way. We don't look how others, many a times people have asked, they are very different. This is how it is outside. We wouldn't want to choose that path. We have made our own path, and I would like to maintain that. We are very different when it comes to people. We are very different when it comes to how we deal with others, and we would like to stay humble but deliver big things. So that's what.
Would you still want Jyothy Labs to be a family run, promoted enterprise, or would a big check from other players entice you?
Not really. I think right now where we are at this stage, we would want to build it even further, and there are no such plans, and I'm very confident on us and my people.
3 words in which you would describe Jyothy's leadership style?
With the people, for the people, building with the people.
Wow. Thank you so much. This was incredible.
Thank you.
Wish you good luck for the future.
Thank you.